Okay, so now we're going to have an activity, okay? We are going to look at 3 or 4 countries. We will see the sectoral breakdown. So that pie chart you saw for the world and US, for each country we'll try to generate that, we'll try to get that for 1990, and approximately some countries you might not get for 1990, some countries you might get for 1990, and approximately 2024. So about 35 years. So for some countries you might get for 24, some countries you might only get for 2020, okay? And then, what are the changes that happened? Which sector has the share changed? Has agriculture changed from 20% to 30%, or gone from 30% to 10%? Has transportation gone from 10% to 30%, or from 30% to 10%? And why? And then, in each of these countries, depending on which sectors changes have happened, come up with some thoughts about how to reduce the share of that sector. For example, let's say in South Korea, the share has increased from 10% to the share of transportation has increased from 10% to 30%. So try to do some little investigation on why the share has changed and how can South Korea reduce the share of transportation sector in the next 10 or 15 years, okay? So we are about 15 or 16 people. Let me form 4 or 5 groups. So let me form 4 groups, okay? So starting with Julie. Julie, you're number 1. Meenakshi, 2. You are 3. You're 4. Vivek, 5. Ajay, sorry, 4 groups. 1, 2, 3, 4. Vijay, you're 1.
Anand?
You're 1.
Okay.
Yeah. And Ajay, you're 2. And Ajay, you're 3. And Saif, you're 4. Okay. Lakshman, right? 5. 1. Sorry, 1. You're 2. Okay. 3. 4. 1. 2. 3. 4. 1. 2. Okay. Okay. All the ones stand up and come forward. Maybe you can come close to where Julie is, and you guys do India. Okay. Let's see how it changes. What's happening in India? Okay. Okay. All the 2s. Who are the 2s? Okay. All the 2s. All the 1s come to Julie. All the 2s come this side, front left, and you guys look at China. Okay, all the 2s look at China. Okay, 3s, who are the 3s? Okay. All the 3s look at New Zealand. All the 3s look at New Zealand. All the 4s, who are the 4s? Okay, all the 4s look at where are the 2s? All the 2s. Yeah, all the 2s come to Meenakshi. Up front left. All the 2s come to Meenakshi, front left. Okay, go ahead, 2s. Yeah, come here. Front left. And where are the 3s? Okay. Where are the 4s? Yeah. All the 4s go back there, back right. Okay? And you guys look at, so we've done what? We've got New Zealand, India, China, UK. You guys do UK, okay? So we are about 15 or 16 people. Let me form 4 or 5 groups. So let me form 4 groups, okay? So starting with Julie. Julie, you're number 1. Meenakshi, 2. You are 3. You're 4. Vivek, 5. Ajay, sorry, 4 groups. 1, 2, 3, 4. Vijay, you're 1.
Anand?
You're 1.
Okay.
Yeah. And Ajay, you're 2. And Ajay, you're 3. And Saif, you're 4. Okay. Lakshman, right? 5. 1. Sorry, 1. You're 2. Okay. 3. 4. 1. 2. 3. 4. 1. 2. Okay. Okay. All the ones stand up and come forward. Maybe you can come close to where Julie is. And you guys do India. Okay. Let's see how it changes. What's happening in India? Okay. Okay. All the 2s. Who are the 2s? Okay. All the 2s. All the ones come to Julie. All the 2s come this side, front left, and you guys look at China. Okay, all the 2s look at China. Okay, 3s, who are the 3s? Okay. All the 3s look at New Zealand. All the 3s look at New Zealand. All the 4s, who are the 4s? Okay, all the 4s look at where are the 2s? All the 2s. Yeah, all the 2s come to Meenakshi. Up front left. All the 2s come to Meenakshi, front left. Okay, go ahead, 2s. Yeah, come here. Front left. And where are the 3s? Okay. Where are the 4s? Yeah. All the 4s go back there, back right. Okay. And you guys look at, so we've done what? You've got New Zealand, India, China, UK. You guys do UK. Okay. In 2024, and then you'll have to do some work, some thinking for the second and third question, okay?
UK हम लोग का है
Yes, I did. Thank you.
अपने साइड से 2-3 चीज और ऐड कर देता है जो आपको डिलीट करना होता है
Given the reasons also, right? Question 2, question 3.
Okay, so now if you will see the diagram, the two pie charts indicate about 2 years and we have used gap in between that, and this also shows that which are the sectors which will lead back to your GHG, which can again lead back to the global warming.
Yeah.
So what we need to do, we need to get some technological solutions so that we can reduce it and we can go ahead with the green environment and all.
Right.
So if we will see in 1990, we have wastage 4.1, transport IPPU, that stands for industrial process and product use,
Okay.
and the another one is energy and agriculture.
Okay.
So the next question was that which are the major sector who like take us back to the energy management, or maximum, where GHG has been used.
Yeah.
So that is actually energy and agriculture sector.
Energy and agriculture sector.
Exactly.
Okay.
So that was the case when it was 1990,
Yeah.
and when we moved back to 2024, we can see that 75. Can you enlarge it? Okay, so now if we will move from 1990 to 2024, much of the energy, GHG has been identified from your energy sectors now.
Okay.
So they are the major, I can say, sources of emissions, and agriculture has been reduced, and IPPU, that is again industrial process and product uses,
Yeah.
that is again related back to your recycling of the products
Right.
done, and then wastage will be there.
Yeah.
So the last question was what measures can be taken, to reduce these things.
Yeah. Before that, can I ask you something?
Yes,
So in 1990, transportation was about 15%, right?
exactly.
But in 2024, transportation has been added to energy,
Yeah.
right? So is it possible that transportation is now the number 2 factor? Like energy, like in 1990, energy was number 1, agriculture was number 2.
Exactly.
Is it possible that energy is still number 1 and transportation is number 2?
That is quite obvious because we are moving more on and giving more stress on the e-vehicles and all.
Yeah.
So again, that can be the part of this.
Okay.
That we are actually assuming it because it is yet to get 100% results from the e-vehicles, because we
Yeah.
need to again identify the power sources for that one that is
Right.
being made nowadays.
Okay.
And the third question was like what can be done to reduce it. So we can say that we need to move ahead with respect to renewable energy sources.
Yeah.
More wind stations can be deployed, more hydro energy can be used for that one.
Okay.
And as well as when you are going for recycling process,
Yeah.
so you need to make use of some of the like schemes where less toxic gas can be emitted from there.
Okay.
As you told on the very first day that methane is produced through the waste management itself.
Yes.
So we can have number of technical solutions to reduce this and make our environment clean.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, team 2, China. So others speak a bit louder so people at the back can also hear.
So what we saw here in China that the total emissions grew from the total emissions grew at 526% from 1990 to 2024 in between, and the sector which had the most increase was the power generation sector, which we.
So, one second. So, the total emissions grew from 2.3 to 14.4, 5 times.
Yeah.
5 times, that's huge, right?
Yeah, that's huge.
That's very, very huge. So, it's a big number. Do you know what the number is in India? How much did it grow? Total number in 1990 to 2024, how much did it grow? Anyway, meanwhile, look for this spike.
25% more.
How much?
25%.
Only 25?
25 to 30 we can say.
That's it. Here it has become 500% more. In China, it's 500% more. 5 times.
For energy sector, right?
Anyway, carry on.
So the sector that saw the most increase was the power sector, power
Okay.
generation sector, which became the largest sector at 27% in 2024.
Yeah.
And the second one is the industry sector that grew dramatically to 23% of emissions in 2024.
Okay.
And after that, we can see the transport sector has it has an explosion in they have exploded in the amount of energy they are giving out, the greenhouse gases they are giving out.
Yeah.
And we can see the agricultural shift that has dropped approximately 25% in 1990 to 7.7% in 2024. So that's a huge change.
Yeah.
And the coal dependency still accounts for 79% of CO2 emissions
Yeah.
through renewable growth accelerating in 2024.
Yeah.
So the mitigation strategies that we thought of were like promotion of use of renewable energy through the government. Like government can provide policies or something for using the renewable energy sources, and they can also increase taxations on non-renewable energy supplements, like especially coal-based energy sources. They can increase the taxation so that people can think that they will not use those things.
Right.
And another thing we thought of, like we can make transport electrification, like use of more electric vehicles. And
Great, thank you very much. This is a great report.
So just to add one point here,
Yeah.
it is 250% increase.
250%
Yes,
increase in
yes,
India.
yes.
Not 25%, 250% increase.
Yes, sir.
But in China it was 500% increase.
500%.
Yeah, so it's a big difference. So India has to really expand its energy sector and perhaps make it clean energy, right?
Exactly.
And in China, the transportation sector might have increased significantly because in 1990, most people were using cycles in China. Now they have lots of car ownership is very, very high. So it's really gone up, right? And which are the other two sectors that saw a big increase in China? Industry and
India's first is power generation.
power generation.
Then industry, then transport.
Yeah, and power generation because they're building lots of coal power plants. That's why. Good, very good report. Okay, you're very thorough. Lots of information in here. Very good, very well done. Okay, you guys ready?
Yeah.
Okay, who's going to present? All of us. Okay, good. All of you present.
The first graph is our country is New Zealand.
Okay.
First graph showing the greenhouse gas emission. In the agriculture sector in 2000 from 1990 to 2023, it's a 10% increasement in agriculture sector. But in 2022 to 2023, in 1 year, it's a 2% decreasing agriculture.
Okay.
And same coming to the energy sector, from 1990 to 2023, it's a 20% increasement in energy sector. Consumption of energy increases, but in 2022 to 2023, in 1 year, 0.8% its energy consumption is decreasing.
Okay.
Now in IPPU, in 1990 to 2023, total emission change is 16%.
Okay.
But in 2022 to 2023, 9% decreasing.
Okay.
There is a slightly decreasing in the last 2022 to 2023. In waste sector, from 1990 to 2023, 11% emission is decreasing, and in last year 2022 to 2023, 0.7% decreasing. And land use LULC. CF in 1990 to 2023, total 70% forest is decreasing, and the urbanization is decreasing. In last 1 year, 2022 to 2023, 4% forest is removed.
Okay.
And in second graph, that's showing the carbon emission from 1991 to 2023 is showing the increasement by the 15% to approximately 23%. It's a nearly 180% increasement in the carbon emission. And in population, I said wrong. In population, is increasing from approximately 4 millions to 5.5 millions. From 91 to 2023, and in carbon emissions, it's a decreasing from 1991 to 2023. But there is a slight increment between 2001 to 2005 nearby. After that, New Zealand had in 2019 they had Climate Change Responsive Act in 2002, by which they had goal to reduce 24% of biomethane by 2050 and 47% reduction in biomethane by 2050.
Great. So here in New Zealand's case, the per capita emissions decreased, right?
Yes.
Even though the population increased, the per capita emissions decreased. So they've done a very good job, right?
Yes,
Even the population increased by 1 million or so, the emissions they were able to decrease significantly. That's a good job. Who else from your team wants to add? Yeah.
respond to the second question,
Yeah.
which was which among the sectors is the largest contributors to the greenhouse emissions.
Yeah.
So the two sectors that primarily contributed was agriculture and energy sectors. Agriculture sector contributed approximately 53%, whereas energy sector contributed approximately 38% of total greenhouse emissions.
In 1990.
Sir, in 2023.
2023. So agriculture contributed almost so much, 50%.
More than 50%.
Okay.
And the second one was energy sector, which included transport sector and energy production. It contributed approximately 38%. And among in agriculture sector itself, 48% was contributed through nitrous oxide, and 9% was contributed from other agricultural sources.
So now if you look at, if you compare New Zealand's CO2 emission sector with China, what are the big differences that you see? So you heard China's, right? So what was the biggest contributor in China?
Energy.
I mean, it was energy in China,
Yes.
biggest one. And in your case, in New Zealand, it is
Agriculture.
And in China, agriculture went down significantly, right?
Yes, sir.
So what does that mean here? Like in New Zealand's case, what might have happened? Why is the agriculture sector such a big contributor and went up also, right? Agriculture from 1990 to 2023.
So in agriculture sector, there is a dairy sector which is growing rapidly.
Very rapidly. Okay. But most of the contributions in agriculture came from nitrous oxide, right? Which is from fertilizer, right? Agriculture sector, if dairy is there and dairy is growing, then you'll have methane growing. Yeah. Good. This is good. What about anyone? You want to add something?
Yeah, moving ahead with the policy, we talk about that in 2019, the Climate Change Response Act came, and Climate Change Act Response Act 2002 was amended to establish targets for reducing emissions,
Yeah.
net zero emission except biogenetic methane by 2050, and 24 to 47% reduction of biogenetic methane by 2050.
Okay.
And they again came up with the idea that New Zealand has also set 2 international emission reduction targets under the Paris Agreement, in which New Zealand first international determined contribution was set a target of 50% reduction in net emission and emission below gross 2005 levels by 2030. And second was that the target of 51 to 55% of reduction compared to 2005 levels by 2035.
Okay. So can they do something?
And I would like to say that their landfills also decreased by 11%.
Good.
With all these initiatives, they able to reduce their landfills and waste management. With the proper waste management, they have decreased the solid waste. With solid waste management, they have decreased the landfills by 11%. Their carbon emissions decreased
Great,
in
fantastic.
landfills.
So what lessons can India take from New Zealand?
Basically, the goals and that they have set to reduce the emissions from other than biogenetic methane is that landfills are generating more methane, and we should also promote the solid waste management here also.
Okay, great. Wonderful. Thank you very much. Okay, the last team.
Our country was United Kingdom.
Yeah.
And first question was, what are the sectors that specify the greenhouse gases effects? So these are sectors like energy supply, industry, transport, residential, agriculture, and waste management. And the main changes in the industry are the major changes which was observed was in energy supply. That was from in 1990 it was about 35%, and in 2024 it is reduced to about 11 to 10%. And in industry it was about 20%, and it is reduced to 13%. There was about 7% change which was observed in that. And in residential, there was residential, agriculture, and waste management. There were minor changes, but the major changes were in energy supply and industry. And it is because that the country shifted from renewable towards the renewable sources of energy. From the conventional source of energy, like it was using coal as a fuel for energy, generating energy. But now they shifted to renewable source of energy like fossil fuels, and I think they must have changes to some more renewable sources of energy like solar energy also. That has made the difference. And third question was, what can be the policy changes for the energy sector which can be made? So these are that phasing out fossil fuels means implementing the strict regulations and incentives to accelerate the transition away from coal, oil and gas for electric generation and heating. Like shifting from coal and the conventional source of energy towards renewable sources of energy. Now, renewable sources, investing in renewable sources, like support the development and deployment of renewable energy sources like wind, solar and geothermal energy power, along with the energy storages and solutions, and promoting energy efficiency. Promoting energy efficiency can also make the energy sector more empowered, and then developing carbon capture and storage, exploring and developing CCS technologies for industrial sectors and power plant to capture and store the CO2 emissions can also help. And policy changes for industrial sector are incentivizing the low carbon technologies like providing financial support, regulatory frameworks to encourage the adoption of the low carbon processes and materials in industrial production, promoting circular economic policy. We can promote circular economic policies like encouraging the reuse, recycle, the 3 R's, that is reduce, reuse and recycle, and the efficient use of resources to reduce the demand for virgin materials and associated emissions, and then implementing strict emission regulations, establishing strict emissions standards for industrial facilities and enforce them effectively. Then investing in research and development. Supporting research and development can also help, and innovative low carbon technologies and processes that can reduce emission from industrial activities.
Animesh, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
So in your graph, you know, 1990, the transportation sector was around 15 or 18%.
Yes.
But in 2024, it had become 35%.
Yes.
So what might have happened, and how can you make some changes there?
Adoption of mass transit can help, because many persons in UK, it is a developed country.
Yeah.
So many persons there use their private transports to go from one place to another. So using more and more public transport, buses and metros, rails can help reduce this sector.
Great. So maybe some, you mentioned this carbon tax was one of your policy recommendations. How would you incorporate that in the transportation sector?
Enhancing the fuel prices can help.
Yes, yes.
Increasing the fuel prices, that can reduce the using private vehicles, and it can help in convincing them more to travel from trains and metros.
And so many countries do that. So many countries, what they do is put an additional tax on fuel prices.
We can take example from Singapore also. We can they can also implement license type things that can debar them from buying more and more cars and more public. They can use more and more public transport.
Yeah, that's true. That's very good. So you see the big differences, right? So now, I hope each country, a team from each country have seen the other teams also, right? So you know the differences between these. Now, one thing that makes a huge difference in carbon emissions is private vehicles, right? Private transportation. And countries price their petrol differently, okay? So I want you guys, for each of the teams, like the India team, can you find out the price of petrol per liter or per gallon? Likewise, China team, price of petrol per gallon or liter. New Zealand also, per liter or gallon, because some places it's per gallon, some places it's per liter. And likewise, UK also, per liter or per gallon, how much is the price?
105 per India.
And if you have it in gallon, can you convert it into liters? Okay. So we can all compare because in India it's by liters, right? Per liter. So prices.
We can take example from Singapore also. We can they can also implement license type things that can debar them from buying more and more cars and more public. They can use more and more public transport.
Yeah, that's true. That's very good. So you see the big differences, right? So now I hope each country, a team from each country have seen the other teams also, right? So you know the differences between these. Now, one thing that makes a huge difference in carbon emissions is private vehicles, right? Private transportation. And countries price their petrol differently, okay? So I want you guys, for each of the teams, like the India team, can you find out the price of petrol per liter or per gallon? Likewise, China team price for price of petrol per gallon or liter. New Zealand also per liter or gallon, because some places it's per gallon, some places it's per liter. And likewise, UK also per liter or per gallon. How much is the price?
105 for India.
And if you have it in gallon, can you convert it into liters? Okay. So we can all compare because in India it's by liters, right? Per liter.
18% is transportation.
But only 18%.
Yeah, only 18%.
But out of 37, right?
Yes, sir. Our energy total 37.
So energy meaning 18 plus 19 is the energy.
Yeah.
Okay.
80% is transportation and 19% is energy, right?
Transportation was 18.7%.
Yeah, that's around 19.
Around 19.
And 18% is
If we add sir, then 18.3% is energy and 8.7% transportation.
so it's close by, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, half. Yeah, it doesn't have that.
Yeah, New Zealand is very sure on that. You need to have your own vehicle. You have to see that.
The price of petrol. Okay, so India Group, what's the price of petrol per liter?
It's 101.
101 rupees per liter.
Yes.
Okay.
And per gallon it is 382.7.
382.7. British gallon or US gallon? British gallon? Okay. Yeah, just check. British gallon. So 101 rupees per liter.
Yes.
Okay. China?
State to state different.
Per liter. So how much is it in rupees? Per liter. 153.5 rupees per liter. And how much it is in UK?
139 per liter.
How much?
139
139 rupees per liter.
Yes.
Okay,
India
so
varies across the states. It's not just across the country.
Yeah.
Varies from state to state apart.
Varies from city to city.
in India. Yeah, but it's a small variation. Okay. Okay, let's look at the numbers, okay? Let's look at the numbers for petrol. In India, it is 101 rupees per liter approximately. In China, it's 91 rupees per liter. In New Zealand, it's 153 rupees per liter. And in UK, it is
139
139.
rupees per liter.
Okay, of all these 4 countries, which of them is the most oil and gas rich country? Of these 4? No, of these 4. Of these 4 countries, between India, China, New Zealand and UK, which has the highest amount of oil and gas resources? No.
India.
It's UK. UK has the highest amount of gas and natural resources, okay? And yet, their price is 139 rupees per liter. Why are they putting that? They are putting a carbon tax. They are putting the carbon tax. So India is importing all this and they are not putting a carbon tax. The UK is exporting it, but inside it's putting a carbon tax and therefore discouraging people from using cars. Okay, so for sustainable development, India should put a carbon tax. Because generally people, it's not a popular thing among the middle class, but if you want sustainable development, middle class will have to accept a higher tax.
Can you give an example of carbon tax? Does it mean that if you have more vehicles, you need to pay more carbon tax? Is it like that?
No, it is based on consumption. So you add to the price of petrol. Some percentage. So if the price of petrol is if the production cost of petrol is 90 rupees, put 90 rupees, the national government can put 90 rupees carbon tax. So every time 1 liter of petrol is consumed, 90 rupees goes to the federal government, national government. And they can use that to make metro or increase public transportation. And because the price is higher, people will also reduce their consumption of petrol because the price is higher. So UK has the highest amount of natural resources, gas and of these 4 countries. And their price was the second highest, 139. New Zealand is importing most of it, so maybe the cost is higher. But India has, China is importing most of it from Iran and from Russia. India is importing quite a bit of its oil, right? So from a sustainability perspective, it should not be selling it at 101. It should be a bit higher. Okay? But politically it will be very difficult to do with that. And it is the lowest among the neighboring countries, yeah. What are the rates in the neighboring countries? How much is the rate in Nepal?
Nepal is around very less. Yeah.
Sorry? Yeah, but how much is the rate in Nepal?
90 rupees.
90 rupees.
It's very cheap.
They have the resources.
Okay, so I'll tell you the price. The price in US is approximately 70 rupees per liter. But not much. And everyone drives because 70 rupees per liter is very cheap by Indian standards. The per capita income in US, so this is much. In Indian terms, it's like 35 rupees.
Less than
$1 per liter. That's very bad policy in the US to have the price. So the US has to maybe double, increase the price by 2 or 3 times. And so in the US there is one national carbon tax which is very small, but then states put their own carbon tax. So in some state, the price of petrol, right, nationally it is about 75 cents, US cents per liter nationally. But if you go to California, they put a 75 cents state carbon tax. So they make it 1.5. So the total price goes up quite a bit.
And California is very progressive in order to reduce the carbon.
Yes, it's very progressive and it also produces a lot of oil. Texas and California and Alaska are the 3 major oil producing places. So even though it produces a lot of oil oil will be very cheaply available there, they put so much of tax so that people drive less. Yeah. Trump doesn't believe in climate change. I don't mind saying that because that's what he really believes.
He believes in US change.
Yes.
Yeah, he is thinking.
Okay, let's take a break. We've gone for about 1 hour 20 minutes. Let's take a 5-10 minute break, and then we'll look at Patna. Is that okay?
Yeah.